Okay, so let's talk about how was having COVID and how it is right now living without COVID. Let's have a conversation. Namaste Bitch, how are you? I want to know, and it's always a pleasure talking to you. And if you wanna know, I am pretty so-so, thanks for asking. Okay, this is a very complicated video because I'm quite sure if you live in the planet Earth, the possibility of had COVID, it's pretty huge. You know that. If you don't know me, I am Brazilian and I live in Australia. Just a second, time off please. I am recording this video in my apartment and it's incredible the amount of old cars and motorcycle that is always in front of this place. Try to understand that sometimes it is impossible to get rid of these type of noises. But let's come back. I have a strong accent, you know that, but I try to live my life in English because I live in a country that speaks English. I don't know what I'm talking about this. Let's talk about COVID. As you know, for 2 years, Australia was a role model how to avoid COVID. But let's face the truth, we are living in a kind of prison. But I'm not complaining about that. I'm really not judging because I do understand why we are living in lockdown for so many months. It was very uncomfortable, psychologically it was difficult. Some people were having some financial issues. So it wasn't easy. But I get it. While we didn't have a vaccine to protect us, the government had to take some action. And the action was close everything. With little, but just little exceptions, some people could leave or enter Australia. But we know that all of us were stuck in here for a while. And doing that, we had a kind of normal life. I mean, of course, for so many days, sometimes weeks or months, depends on the city, we were inside our house. We were having a kind of normal life. One more time, it was difficult, but we survived well. And finally, the vaccine has arrived in Australia. And the promise was, if 8% of the population is vaccinated, you guys are going to have freedom. Of course, depends on the city, depends on the state. But let's think in a total Australia to have an idea. I live in Sydney, New South Wales, and we got what the government was expecting from us. And after that, of course, we had freedom. And that was the problem. Because at the same time that we felt protected, and we could do everything. We could go to parties, we could have a kind of normal life, sometimes with masks, but most of the time without masks. I think we as a population, we just lost the control. It's clear that the people in general didn't understand that the fact that you have your freedom back, we should be looking after a few kind of ways to protect you and also protect the others. But I don't know, I have this feeling that we lost the control and Delta has arrived at the same time and everybody began to feel infected. It was a nightmare. It was difficult to deal with, but we are protected. So the main idea was, okay, the big majority will have COVID, but will have mild symptoms, so we could deal with that. But at the same time, it's difficult. Gosh, it's hard today. Anyway, but at the same time, it was difficult because even knowing that some of us will have just mild symptoms, we also knew that lots of people will end up in the hospital and some people will die. And this is difficult because for me as a human being, each life counts. How can you put a price in a life? So it's really hard, but I understand. I really understand. It's just like we need to try to have our lives back. And we had. And what happened? After a while, I got COVID. And it was an interesting thing because most of my colleagues had almost no symptoms. Some of them were feeling a bit sick, like a kind of mild flu. Some of them didn't feel anything. And with me, it was all the opposite. I had all the symptoms that you can imagine. I had fever, I was feeling cold, I was feeling hot, I could not breathe properly, I had strong headaches, I lost my sense of smell, I lost my sense of taste, my skin was having some issues. It was really hard. And as soon as I got it, I just realized straight away, this is not a flu, this is COVID, because it's a bit different. It was really hard, the feeling, it was really hard, the sensation for the first 2 days. And I noticed that every day I was deteriorating a bit more and I began to feel a bit preoccupied. So in the third day I had a conversation with a doctor. It was an online consultation. Can you hear ambulance? It's like this old time. This is the life in Australia. It's so noisy, so. But let's come back to that point. Most of the people, when they have this type of things, they have just Panadol or Nurofen. Things just like as you have a normal flu. But the doctor told me you need to have a strong antibiotic because it's getting serious. I have been advised if in the 5th day you are still feeling bad and sick, you might need to see a doctor in a hospital. I was feeling scared about that because I wasn't breathing properly. Of course I was breathing, but it was some kind of short breathing, like not all the time, but I could not breathe the way that I like. Even now that I don't have COVID, I still cannot breathe like. If I try to expand my lung, I begin to cough. But anyway, I was a bit scared and I was just watching myself, but something happened and antibiotic began to work. So in the 5th day, I was feeling not perfect, but I could see light in the end of this tunnel. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get better. But I knew that it will be a bit different than everybody because the big majority of people in the 7th day, they're free to go if they don't have any symptoms. And day 6, day 7, and I was like, I'm still not good. Of course, I'm not so bad like day number 4, day number 5, but I wasn't feeling good. So I made another COVID test, positive. Well, I was testing positive until day 9, and I was feeling a pretty shit, to be honest. On day 10, it was a miracle. I was negative, but I was with all the symptoms yet, but not so bad like it was before. It was a kind of a very strong cold, but I could have my freedom back to go outside. I wasn't crazy to do normal things because I wasn't feeling so well. So the only thing that I've done, I was trying to breathe some air. So I have decided at this day to just go outside, making sure that nobody was close to me, and I knew I was negative. I tested negative and I was just like walking around the corner and come back home. I didn't see people and I was doing everything correct. And I had another conversation with my doctor because I was like, oh, I don't know what happened. I think I got a big cold now, and it wasn't sure if this was a cold together with the COVID or after COVID I got cold. Anyway, I was feeling bad. Of course, I came back working. I was working at home, and after the 3rd week I was feeling much better. Of course, I wasn't coughing, I wasn't all these things, but you can see that I'm still like this. It's not 100% how I should be, but I was free to come back to work, to see people and all these things, trying to be far away from people because I have decided this, practicing social distance, doing everything correctly. But it's incredible. It's just like more than 1 month and I'm still with this feeling like I got a strong cold. Even I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling healthy. I'm feeling right. But of course I'm still having headaches. My nose is always blocked. Sometimes I feel my throat, but it's sometimes. What else more? The worst is that feeling that I'm always tired. Always tired. It doesn't matter what happened. For example, in my job, if I try to go to one floor to another, I always arrive in another floor like extremely tired, with short breath. Like, and this is not normal. People look at me and say, Emerson, are you okay? Because it's not normal, it's just one floor, but I always need to catch my breath back because I feel really bad. Of course, I feel dizzy, so everything happened. What I heard is that I might have a long COVID. It means that I'm still healthy, I'm good, but I'm still having some symptoms, and maybe we'll have this for a while. I don't know, maybe a few more weeks, maybe a few more months, maybe more than 1 year, who knows? This is such a new type of illness in the world, so it's very hard to describe and understand. So right now, this is my life post-COVID. It's difficult, it's funny. I cannot come back to the gym like I used to be. For example, I used to lift weight, doing lots of things. I was doing CrossFit before all these things, but right now it's impossible. The only thing that I can do is just a treadmill, walk like for 20-30 minutes to try to build up my resistance back. This is horrible, this is a shit, this is not nice, but it is what it is. Life post-COVID for me is still being a bit dramatic, but I'm Brazilian, so I'm dramatic, so it fits me. That's it. I know this is a kind of boring video, but so many people asked me how was living with COVID and how is your life after COVID. So that's it. Always with this feeling, with this sensation that I'm sick, but I'm not sick. Really difficult to understand. This is me. Just a final point. It's hard to get or understand why you are living with so many people infected after living 2 years in restrictions. 2 years without leaving this country, 2 years without the possibility to see your family. It was hard, and all these things in the end for nothing. But one more time, I got the vaccine makes a huge difference, but the feeling is not good after all these things. And please don't think that I'm a negative person, because I'm extremely positive. Even feeling that way, I'm still positive. I'm working, I'm trying to do my best. I sound like this because I'm blocked, and I still think that we need to understand how to live with this stupid virus in the air and try our best to protect us and to protect people that we love. That's it. I'd like to know, did you have COVID? How was it? How was this feeling? Please write here down below because I really want to know. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. If you didn't like, you just do the positive, all good, no dramas. Please consider to subscribe to this channel. You just need to hit the subscribe button, and after that you need to press this little sign so YouTube might inform you when I put a new video in this channel. I know I was away for a while, but I will try to put some videos here, but without that obligation to put a video because I need to put a video. It's just like when you need to have a conversation, I'm going to put a video here, okay? So please try to visit me here, and that's it. Thank you so much for your audience, and I hope to see you very soon in the next video. Namaste Bitch. Bye.